Welcome back. In this lesson of JavaScript the Basics, we're going to look at operators in JavaScript. What is an operator? In JavaScript, operators are used to assign values, compare values, perform arithmetic operations, and more. Operators allow programmers to create a single value from one or more values. They do a lot, so let's get started. JavaScript has both binary and unary operators, and one special ternary operator, the conditional operator. We won't look at ternary operators in this lesson. We'll focus on binary and unary operators for now. A binary operator requires two operands, one before the operator and one after the operator. For example, 2 plus 3, or x multiplied by z. A unary operator requires a single operand, either before or after the operator. For example, y plus plus or plus plus y. Let's begin with arithmetic operators. The basic arithmetic operators are multiplication, division, modulus, addition, and subtraction. An arithmetic operator takes numerical values, either literals or variables, as their operands and returns a single numerical value. Let's look at a few examples. Here's an example of the addition and subtraction operator. Many of the arithmetic operators should be intuitive if you have any familiarity with math. The plus operator will also be used for string concatenation, which we will look at the end of this lesson. The division and multiplication operators are what you would expect as well. Hopefully, that shouldn't be anything too new to you. Next, let's look at the modulus operator, represented by the percentage symbol on your keyboard. This will give us the remainder of two values. So var remainder equals 21 modulus 4. 4 will go into 21 5 times with one remainder. Modulus may be helpful in the future when trying to choose values that are only even or implementing some sort of filter for choosing every other value. Now, let's move on to the assignment operators. An assignment operator assigns a value to its left operand based on the value of its right operand. We've already been using this all throughout this course. The simplest assignment operator is the equal sign, which isn't asking if two values are the same, but is assigning the value of its right operand to its left operand. Let's go deeper with the addition assignment and the subtraction assignment. Suppose we have var count equals 5. If we wanted to add 4 to the value of count, we could just do count equals count, which we know is 5, plus 4 to get 9. Or the addition assignment operator allows us to simplify this by putting count plus equals 4. This plus sign in front of the equal sign will take the value of the variable, which is 5, and add it to the 4. This is less code and still very readable. If we were to do the subtraction assignment, we will follow the same pattern. Now let's move to the comparison operators. Comparison operators compare both sides of the equation and return a logical value based on whether the comparison is true. The operands can be numerical, string, logical, or object values. In this lesson, we're going to look at the equality operators. Double equal and triple equals checks for equality between two values or operands, but they have two different definitions of equality. Double equals looks to see whether two operands are equal using a more relaxed definition of equality, while triple equals is the strict equality operator and checks whether two operands are equal using a strict definition of equality. That concept might sound a little strange right now if you're new to programming, so we'll flesh out some examples. Let's do variable x assign the value of the number 8, and variable y assign the value of string 8. Now remember that the single equal sign is not an equality operator. It is an assignment operator assigning a value to a variable, also known as the target or identifier. If we want to check if these two are equal, we just use the double equal sign. Remember, not 1, because we aren't assigning a value. We're checking for equality. This conditional statement is returning a value of true. The number type of 8 is equal to the string type of 8. This might be a little confusing. It would be kind of like saying that the color red is equal to an apple. even though red is a color and apple is a fruit. Yet we can see the connection that is there. They are both the color red. How does JavaScript do this? As you dive deeper into JavaScript, you will find that JavaScript wants to be your friend. While other languages throw errors in such cases, JavaScript will try to help you when it can. Why is this true? JavaScript does something called coercion at this point. We won't go into that right now, but basically JavaScript wants to be your friend and will try to help us when it can. This is one of those cases. It is like turning the fruit apple into the color red, so it is no longer a fruit, to match the color red as they have that in common. Coercion can be very helpful at times, but it can also lead to unexpected results if you aren't looking for it. So you need to be aware of this feature of double equals. But what if we don't want JavaScript to be so friendly? What if we want to make sure that x and y are the same value and type? If that is so, you will find yourself using the triple equals. While double equal checks for value, allowing coercion, triple equal checks for value and type. Generally, triple equals is going to be the best practice and leave your code less buggy. Lastly, let's look at the string operator. We saw the plus sign previously as an arithmetic operator, but the plus sign can be used on strings. When it is used on strings, the plus operator is called the concatenation operator. Let's go to an example to see this in practice. Let's create my full name out of its individual parts. On your own, you can try this with your name if you would like. Let's create a variable and fill it with strings for my first name, middle name, and last name, then concat them together. For my first name, we have variable first name equals the string Rob. For the middle name, we have var middle name equals the string Grant. And for the last name, we have var last name equals the string Merrill. Now let's put all these strings together in a variable called full name. So full name is equal to the variable first name plus a string with a space in it plus my middle name plus another string with a space in it plus the variable last name. Don't forget to add a string with a space placeholder, otherwise our name will be all cramped up. For the most part, JavaScript ignores white spaces in your code, but if you have them within strings, they will be applied. Now, if we investigate what full name is, the console will give us Rob, Grant, Merrill. Hope you enjoyed this intro to operators, and we'll see you in our next lab.